pet food makes it easy to choose the product that's just right for your pet's life stage. Every pet has their own special nutritional needs, and we've got the super premium option your family's best friend deserves.
Thank you, Charlie. Thanks, Rocky. Thanks, Cooper. You too, Toby and Jody and Daisy and Sadie and Gracie. Your loyalty means everything to us, which is why we perfected the recipes behind our food and included special support for mobility and immunity. Find premium nutrition near you at NutrenaWorld.com/LoyalLife. Nutrena, what's inside counts.
Country Vet Naturals dog food is crafted for hard-working dogs, packed with high-quality protein, essential vitamins and minerals. It's designed to fuel their energy and endurance. No fillers, no artificial additives, just pure natural nutrition for your loyal partner. Our formulas support your dog's digestive health, ensuring they can thrive at their best with comfort and ease. Country Vet Naturals gives your dog the strength and stamina to perform their best. Because when the job's tough, they deserve the best. Power your dog's performance with Country Vet Naturals.
Your relationship is built on trust. Your buddy is with you for work and play from sunup to sundown. And you can trust Nutrena True to deliver nutrient-packed formulas for active dogs like yours. Each bite is TruMune powered for immunity and mobility support, and with support for digestion plus joint, skin, and coat health, trust that they're always protected from the inside out. Find high-quality, hardworking nutrition near you at NutrenaWorld.com/NutrenaTrue. Nutrena, what's inside counts.
Making sure your pets get the nutrition they need to live long, happy lives? That's what we do best. With our special blends of quality ingredients, you can count on us for the pets counting on you. After all, being the best pet parent ever is what you do best.
Welcome to Afton, Wyoming, where every season brings something worth seeing. In summer, take a short hike to the world's largest intermittent spring, the same spring that feeds the town's drinking water. Whether you're hiking, fishing, or riding ATVs, the trails are open and waiting. In town, stop by local shops and museums, tee off at the golf course, or grab a bite with a family after a day outside. Summer's full of events like the Mountain States Stock Dog Nationals, and Afton knows how to host. In fall, the valley lights up with color. Walk the trail to the Star, fish in our waters, or head out with a local outfitter for a day of hunting. And when winter hits, it shows up in full. We've got groomed ski trails, snowmobiling routes, and fresh powder in every direction. Skate at Starview Park or just
Okay, we were now looking at the novice, third round of the novice in the cattle class. This is Jamie Malberg and Abby. This again is a 5-minute course. She just came through obstacle number 2, I believe, and she's still working on obstacle number 2. This course that has been designed by Steve White and crew is extremely technical today in both arenas. So you're going to see probably not quite as many full scores. But Jamie is one of our judges, or timers. I don't know what her responsibility is up top. Her and her husband, Patrick. I know Patrick judges. Maybe Jamie is one of the timers, but they spend all day sitting up there in the booth just watching. They've been here all week, providing an excellent service we need. We probably got 50, close to 60 volunteers that help all week long. Commentators, judges, secretaries, scribes, timers, set-out crew, exhaust crew, our horseback crew that move cattle from one to another. They're here at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, gathering these cattle off the field in the back, getting them up into the pens behind the arena, letting them settle, let them relax, and then moving them into the set-out pens in both arenas as needed. And you'll see them from time to time moving around in the background. Okay, it looks like Jamie has gotten through obstacle number 2. Would like Abby to get underneath or around these panels and get in and move them a little bit. She's on to obstacle number 3, which has been the nemesis both in the intermediate finals, where I just finished my competition for the week. And now, same course into obstacle number 3. And this is really technical. The dog's got to move quickly, got to be responsive, and the cattle have to respond. Okay, there goes the buzzer for Jamie and Abby. Okay. Here is Kevin going to come into this arena and horseback and get him out. This is the reason we can run so many dogs so quickly, is because of the efficiency of what you're seeing. One dog finishes, they're in, moving them around. We've got somebody standing at the gate ready to come in. There's not much for downtime, so we really appreciate that. We've had long days here. And it's, I'm not going to say it's tough, but it's wearing on the old body. So for those of you who have been with us all week watching these trials, we appreciate it. I've had several nice comments from friends at home and friends here that are watching, watching their runs, their friends' runs. Like I said, we've got 2 cattle arenas going simultaneously. We've got a sheep arena that goes all day long. And then we've got a field that is going probably 4 out of the 6 days that is running. So there is a lot of stuff happening. And if you're showing multiple dogs in multiple classes, you really need somebody to make sure you're going in the right direction. So here comes Paula Rakow and / J. Lucinda. He sends Lucinda around on the fetch. picks up the cattle. These cattle have just been excellent that Steve White has brought to the finals. You know, I think I've seen one bad one in the whole group that actually came out and said, I ain't playing. I talked to Steve, told him that, and he said, yeah, I saw it. Cut that one out. I don't think I've seen really a bad cow. I've seen some very challenging cattle, and I've seen some good cows that have been made to be very challenging because of the way the dog has acted towards them. So it's really easy to make a good set bad, but it's pretty difficult to make a bad set good. So everybody's had a pretty fair chance at this. Like I say, we've had cattle that have been trottier, and those are the ones that you can win on if you can keep up with them and keep them directed. Direct the front cow, push the back cow. We've had sets that have been a little more sluggish, that have stuck together really well and moved slower. Those are the ones, if you can just keep them moving, you're going to probably be able to control well and get a full point score, but you might not be fast enough to win the round on. Now this is a 3-round average, so we are in the 3rd round. But everybody got 2 full runs with their dogs, and then the top dogs came back to the 3rd one. And each class is a little different. They take kind of a percentage of the dogs that were in the class. So like the open class that had 91 dogs in it, might have a few more competitors in the final round than the intermediate class that only had 65 dogs in it. I think there was close to 20 dogs in it. After 2 rounds, I know I was number 15 out of 65 with one of my dogs, so I made it into the finals. But I don't know how many were behind me. I doubt that there was more than 20, so 18 or 20 dogs out of 65 is what they took in the intermediate class. This is the novice, and I think the novice class had 71 in there, so there might be pretty darn close to 20 dogs, or maybe a few more. So here is Paula and Lucinda. Boy, she's got the right set. This is where I stalled out in. I could not get my cattle to stick together. I always had a leader that just wanted to keep moving, and 2 that wanted to get in the gate. So the difference between this set in this obstacle is all hers kind of came in together. No, not a one of them saw the exit on the left. See, there's 2 exits there where the dog is and where the cattle are. And my first one was the leader, got it in, and just headed for that left exit because that's the cattle's line of sight. That's the way it's set up to make it more difficult so they just don't walk through. My other 2 were still struggling to get in, and I could never get them in and get the dog around to that left side of the obstacle to block the first one's exit going out the wrong side. So I kind of stalled out there. My dog worked good, so I'm very happy with that. It's just a matter of I couldn't get my timing down and get things done. So sure not mad at the cattle, sure not mad at my dog. Just what you got. You know, maybe a few more tries. Maybe if I had 10 minutes, I could have done it, but I couldn't do it in 5. Oh, yeah. So you can see Lucinda's cattle, they're just not moving quickly. She's going to time out before she gets to obstacle number 4. So 4 looks like a really easy obstacle. Just get them around the back. You can come in from either side and get them through that middle. But it's a timing issue. These cattle, the way they're moving, it looks like it would happen pretty good. But if you get a set of cattle that just kind of string out a little bit. It's going to be hard on your timing. If the first cow's head past the end of that panel and the last cow is not in that obstacle, you either can't get the front one around, or when you move your dog, you push your back one before he gets into the obstacle. That is the course. So we've had a fun week here in Afton. Our weather has been pretty darn good. We've had a little wind in the afternoon. We're a little overcast today. A little bit warmer mornings. We're into the 40s here in the morning now. Where the first few days we were down in the 30s. Made a little cool, but very enjoyable. Star Valley here is a very beautiful, long, narrow valley. And these fairgrounds are just awesome. I think they have their fair coming up in the next week or so. Okay, here comes Wesley Bruton and Ginger from, I think they're from San Antonio, New Mexico. They're camped right next to us. They came over for dinner last night. He and his wife Emily and their young daughter. So Wes tells me they run a cow-calf operation that runs through Texas and New Mexico. A little bit of farming as well. Nicely through obstacle number 1. And here's a set of cattle. They're moving, but they're sticking together. They're not all strung out. So it's going to be a lot easier for Wes and Ginger to get them in and out of those obstacles. So you can see there's 2 openings here. There's only 1 opening. I'm sorry, they closed it up. Now they're on to obstacle number 3. And you can see, one skirted around the outside. But if that one would have come in the way they were moving, Wes would have had plenty of time to get Ginger around to the fence side of this obstacle, the left side from where we're looking, to block that opening on the left and push them to the opening on the right. But if your cattle string out, that's going to be very difficult to get that first one bent around while that second one is still milling around the outside of the obstacle. You know, you'd like to see the cattle kind of break off into a controlled trot, make up a little bit of time. You can see how fast the clock is running, and if cattle aren't moving in the same speed, pretty soon we're going to run out of time. So the way that lead cow came through is the correct way those cattle have to come through the obstacle. We can see that 2 of them didn't even come in. So got to go around and turn this one around. Now we've got one that's kind of leaked out through the far side. Ginger's going to go around and collect that one. Now we've got the other 2. Looks like we're ready to go through the exit and get some points. There we are. That's the way it's got to be done. Now they're going to come into the sort pen, where once we get them all through and pinned, they've got to come in and all the way down to where you see the number 6 at this end of the obstacle. There's openings right there on the cattle's right side. Now they're pinned. So we have to have, let's watch it. There's one out the side right there. One going out, will go straight out the back right there. And the other one will come out where the first one came out. You can see Ginger getting excited and confused. Nice job, Wes and Ginger. They used up a good portion of their 5 minutes. They're at 4:54. Like I say, you paid for 5 minutes, might as well use it.
Back with Stockton White with the MSSA National Finals, part of the White family organizing this event. Stockton, you said you had 3 dogs that you're doing trials with. What do you do to train the dogs?
There's a lot of steps into it. We start off small with just basic manners and obedience, and then we work up into pens and herding and start just getting to a bigger area and getting them more comfortable and familiar with the stock.
Perfect. Now, of course, your dogs, real-life working dogs, too, I assume, right?
Yes, we ranch a lot with our dogs. That's what we kind of do, everything from cattle and sheep ranching to dog trials and everything. Just all between.
Perfect. Stockton White, MSSA.
So Kevin has come in once again to exhaust these cattle out. They go back on feed and water. Got some nice pens out the back of the arena where the cattle can relax and get something to eat. They got a couple big bales of hay out there. They get down and probably talk about all the stuff they did to the handler to make it tough on them. Okay, coming in next in the final run of the novice class is McCoy, Ramsey, and Bill. McCoy gets Bill set up, sends him on an away command for fetch. The fetch is where we ask the dog to leave our side and fetch the cattle to us. So we send him, he has a choice. He can send them on an away command, which is counterclockwise, or he can send him come by or go by, which is a clockwise command. Most handlers in the way the course and the cattle are set up have chosen to send their dog away, which is counterclockwise. So if you think of the cattle being in the middle of a great big clock where the hands come together, and McCoy is standing at 6 o'clock, the dog is standing at 12 o'clock. That's natural instinct of the dog, along with being asked to go into that position. But as puppies, these dogs will naturally do that. Just go around in a circle. They don't even know their names yet. And it's the most amazing thing you ever seen. and they will go around and they will just balance off us. Be it that's always at that 6 and 12. Wherever we stand, if we think we're always at 6, they're going to always want to go to 12. So pretty amazing genetics. So we've got to get that red cow in there. McCoy's got to get that red one in before anybody walks out. And that one is out, came out. And that's kind of what happened to me. I still had one working all the time getting in. I also had one standing out there just looking to go out or just walking through, and I tried it 3, maybe 4 times, and I never could get it right. So just one of them deals. Here we go again. Okay, now they're in. Now Bill can get around to this left side. Perfect. That's the way it's supposed to be. Just enough to bend those cattle heads off to the right and not let them leak out on the left side. It's hard to visualize from what you're seeing, but when those cattle come in through the entrance of that obstacle, their line of sight is out the left side of that obstacle. So that's what draws them that way. And that's when Steve sets these obstacles up, there's always a method to his madness, and he's trying to make it more difficult. We do have now in this final round, these are the best of the best that got here. You know, I was just super honored and happy to make it into the final round. We've got contestants and dogs here in Afton from 24 states in the United States and 4 provinces in Canada. So I don't know how many actual competitors there are, but I've been told by people that know more than I do that there's over 1,000 dogs here. Now maybe not all of them are competing because a lot of people drag dogs with them, younger dogs or dogs that they just can't leave at home for one or another. The younger dogs, you want to put some miles on them in traveling. Give them an opportunity to see different areas, to be in different climatic situations, different facilities. There goes a nice run by McCoy, Ramsey, and Bill. Gets the sort done, and it looks like he's just a little bit under 4 minutes. 3:59. Good job.
Great run. With a time of 3:59, that leads the round right now for McCoy and Bill. Up now, we have Christina and Sadie Clyde, with Rick and Dolly on deck, and Patrick and Ella in the hole.
All right, in the arena now we have Christina Kirby and Satis Clyde. So let's see how Clyde goes. Christina sent Clyde around on an away command. First obstacle is the fetch panels right in the middle. You can see how that brockle face calf kind of wants to keep looking off to their right. And Clyde's got to get around there, getting her eye just enough to get him straightened out. Now she's going to jump around to the come by side. Getting her eye and turn him. Getting her eye and turn him, get him walking. Now you got to get a little bit more over on this side a little bit. There you go. One more time. There, that was pretty darn nice. So that was a real good example with Christina and Clyde of just moving that dog just a few feet at a time, and you could see every time he did it, that cow's head turned just like this. Now that was a little bit of an overflank. You can see the direction of the cattle are not going straight towards the obstacle. The shortest distance between two places is a straight line, and that's what we would like to maintain, as straight a line to our obstacle as possible. Now here's the difficult part. We got to get in. She's pretty lucky there. Those cattle kind of slowed down for her. And that was a really nice job of working that obstacle. So one of the first things that we, besides lie down and come here and stay there and whatnot, that we want these dogs to learn is to accept us as the team leader. This is definitely a team sport. One dog, one handler. But the handler is the quarterback. We're the only ones that can read those numbers on the obstacle. We're the only ones that know where we have to enter the obstacle and where we need to exit the obstacle. The dog does not know that. They kind of get to understand it after a while, and they can read a little bit. And a lot of these cattle these dogs really read their cattle. But they, unfortunately, we need to, in a trial situation, we wind up micromanaging them just a bit. So pretty much every move the dogs make are directed by the handler. Of course, there's sometimes that their natural instincts kick in and they do what God told them to do. And sometimes it's not always the right thing, and that's where you'll see a little bit of confusion in the run going on. So, like I say, there's a fine line between doing what you're asked to do and doing what God put into you with genetics. And sometimes the genetics win, and it doesn't always work out that well. But it's always fun. These dogs are exceptionally talented. You're going to see a lot of border collies out here. Probably 90-some-odd% of the dogs here are border collies. There's a few hanging tree dogs, which are a combination of Australian Shepherd, Border Collie, Kelpie, and Catahoula. There's a couple Australian Shepherds.
With the MSSA National Finals, I have Holt from Bancroft, Idaho here, helping behind the scenes with the cattle. Holt, tell us what you guys do sorting the cows behind the gates.
So basically, when the trialer, he calls for cows, and then we push 3 cows out, and then we got our cowboys up there that when we start running on cattle, then they bring us a good pile of them. We sort them into these little pens out of that big pen. That way it makes it a little easier sorting on them, and then, yeah, when they call for cows, we push them out for them.
Perfect. That's Holt helping us out at the MSSA National Finals.
Thank you to all our sponsors. Nutrena has been with Mountain State Stock Dog Association as a great sponsor. They're the premier sponsor and couldn't do it without all their help and sponsorships. I had an opportunity to talk with Natalie which is one of the Nutrena reps here this week. The other day, she gave us a lot of insight about Nutrena products, dog nutrition, gut health, etc. Very interesting to talk to those people. Okay, here comes Rick Scher with Dolly. He is currently in 12th place going into this competition. This is the third round of the Novice. So once again, the handlers, there were the secretary staff create the order, and they do it on the computer, I believe, you know, as far as setting our order. So, but right now, Rick and Dolly, with their combined score of the first two runs, is sitting in 12th. Like I say, okay, you can see Dolly working and trying to keep these cattle together, doing a really good job of bunching them up. Okay, Whiteface is kind of our leader right now. Going to walk over there where Rick is, and Rick's going to have to turn him around, and Dolly runs over there and helps him. So direct the lead cow. All right, we had that last one kind of leak out. So she went in the exit, which is not acceptable. So now the entire pen is considered dirty. So yeah, we have to empty the pen, as Rick and Dolly have done now, and reload them again. There, one wants to leak around that side. Dolly's there to stop them and turn them. You can see how just a little bit of position change changes the angle of that calf's head. So we've got the first one out. Now, we don't want anybody going out the entrance. We'd have to reload them. Cattle are curious, and you can see that white face kind of looking at Dolly's, and what are you going to do? Dolly might have to put a little training move on him here pretty quick. I feel it coming. There it is. One of two things happen. Either what's happened now, I guess, is I really don't want to be around you guys. So she walked off the other way. Dolly's going to go around and have a little one-on-one with her. Bring her back to the other two. The other two are just kind of, you know, they're standing there, they're okay. They've been doing the right thing. They didn't have a training session. You can see how much freer this one moves after that training session. So they've come through the obstacle kind of on the wrong side. They've got to come back. There's only one legitimate way they can come into this obstacle. So Dolly's going to have to push them all the way around or through this obstacle. Looks like we're going to go around. Okay. Need the cattle to bunch up. Rick's going to send Dolly on an away command, which is counterclockwise. Hopefully get all the way around her before they go backwards through the fetch, which she did. Go up and direct the lead cow. Direct the lead cow, go back and push the back cow. Simple. Okay. Now Whiteface might need another little lesson if she doesn't straighten out, huh? Okay, they're going towards the opening. Dolly's going to have to get around on their right side. Get these last two in. It's good that that first one in kind of stood there and waited. Okay, now. Can Rick get up there fast enough? Nope. So one leaked out that left side. So he can move on with just two. Two went out the right hole. So you get 15 points ahead, 45 points per obstacle, 6 obstacles, a total of 270 points. So he can go on with two, or he can regather. He's at 4 minutes plus. Timing out now. He's just biding his time. Buzzer's going to go off here in a second. There it goes. So that was a good effort by Rick Scheer and Dolly. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Like I say, the course is extremely technical for what has to happen, and you just got to be right on the money. So all right, let's see who's coming in the arena now. Patrick Malberg and Ella. You saw Patrick's wife a little earlier in this class, Jamie Malberg. Patrick is the judge in this lower arena, has been sitting up in that crow's nest all day for the last 5 days, including today is the 6th day that he has been doing that. He calls for his cattle. Sends Ella on and away. Picks up the cattle, gets them straightened out. Okay. Got to keep moving forward, but we got to keep moving forward in a straight line, right towards the opening. It'll only take about a heartbeat and a half for those cattle to escape if they really want to. Steve White has brought somewhere over 300 head of cattle here, somewhere between 300 and 400 head to participate this week. They all get a couple runs apiece on them. I think the way they've got them handled, they might get a couple runs apiece a day on each one of these cattle. I don't know how many head of sheep he brought, but I know he had a bunch of sheep over there, and all come from his ranch. They're all well fitted. These cattle have been at a couple different trials, and that's why they're handling so well. You know, you don't see any of them trying to jump out of the obstacle, go through an obstacle, go over the fence, which I have happened to see in trials in the past. So kudos to Steve White and family for getting these cattle conditioned to the best of the ability so that we're really fair and consistent as we work on them. And marching them down, we're going to have Ella want to go by. Nice work. That was nice. Now she has to come back and get over there. You go. Now that's, don't let that red one out. Boy, that was close. Okay, apparently the judge told the judge up there, which might have been Jamie, Patrick's wife, told him to reload because that one got out. From my perspective, My perspective of that obstacle is not the same as the judges, and it depends on what the judges are looking at. They're going to call the same thing all day long. So, like I say, Patrick has judged that earlier today, so he knows there he goes. Now he's got it going for him. Okay, he's at 2 minutes. He's out of obstacle number 3. Headed down to the far right corner. Obstacle number 4. Again, that one looks really simple. Just push them in one side or the other and bring them right out the middle. You'll see it in a minute as they get closer, and our camera zooms over on that side. Our camera crews have done an excellent job all week of providing this live feed for us. They have been spot on. So thank you guys for all your help. So here they go. And this is a timing deal. He moved Ella a little bit too soon. Backed up, got that black-white face in there. A prime example of how to get that obstacle done. Got them all in there. The cattle were very cooperative, but Ella was spot on, and Patrick's timing was spot on. So they came through that. Now they're going to march down to the sort pen. Right where you see number 5, they've got to come in there. There's kind of a long chute. It'll put them into a little pen. At the other end of this obstacle, there's now you can see that number 6 to the right end of your screen. That is the pen. They all have to be consumed in that to get the pin points. They are not pinned yet. Almost. 2 of them are. 3 of them are. So now he's pinned them. He's got to get only one out that way. Oh, there goes the buzzer. He was close. Son of a gun. Okay, Kevin's back in the arena. Getting this one, getting the cattle out. Again, we've got somebody pretty much standing at the gate with their dog, ready to go in. As soon as these cattle are exhausted, they're going to go out. A lot of the guys, myself included, I don't like to get my dog in the arena until these cattle and Kevin is out of the arena and that gate is shut. If you walk in and the dog sees those cattle going out, a lot of times what will happen is when you go to set your dog up, he's going to turn around and look at where the last time he saw those cattle going right out that gate. So then you're going to have to reposition your dog and get his mind set to be going in the other way towards the set out pen. So that takes us an extra second. That's something you're going to see a lot of it, just, rather than the guy walking in. This is his time, his money. He needs to have it right for his run. So here is Jerry Alvord and Sue. This is our novice cattle finals in the Nutrena True Arena. The upper arena, this is called the lower arena or the Nutrena True Arena. The upper arena, which is right next to it, is called the Nutrena Loyall Life Arena or the upper arena. Jerry and Sue have done a good job of getting these cattle through the fetch. So the judges and timers will time the first cow through the fetch. That's called your fetch time. That's going to be our tiebreaker on each round and at the end. So there's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be a number of competitors that have the same score. After the score, they're going to go to the fastest time. There's a good possibility there could be a tie of the same time after 2 or 3 animals. A little bit unlikely, but I've definitely seen it before. The third tiebreaker, or the second tiebreaker, I guess you'd say, would be the fetch time. The time the first cow got through that fetch panels. And actually, we saw it one time this year at one of the trials that we put on, that after 2 runs, because it was just a 2-day trial, 2 competitors had the exact same score, the exact same total time on 2 runs, and they were only separated by about 3 seconds on the fetch. So it went back to that fetch time, the tiebreaker, to decide the champion and reserve champion. Pretty amazing that that could happen, but it did. Okay, Sue and Jerry have kind of allowed these cattle to escape a little bit off their normal path. Still working on obstacle number 2. Jerry can move around freely back there. He's going to wrap these cattle around obstacle number 2. No, my mistake. Get Sue around there and push him into obstacle number 3. There's one in. That's what you need to happen. If that cow starts walking out before the other ones are in, you got a problem. All right, now we're in good shape. They can start walking down towards the exit. Jerry kind of blocked that one hole, I guess. He's going to have to regather those cattle and reload them. He had one that kind of skirted by and didn't get entered. Cattle just kind of stringing out, and they're not wanting to cooperate. There goes the buzzer. So that's the end of Jerry and Sue's run. Not the run they wanted, but the one they got. And I'm sure they'll just go back to camp and think about it. He may have more runs a little later, maybe in the sheep. You know, we've got such a good group of handlers here, I'm telling you what. There's not any, I don't think, because I haven't met everybody, but boy, I've met a lot of them, and I like them all. They're all good people, good to be around. you know, offer good advice, nice to speak to. It's good to talk to people from different parts of the country, find out what it's like at home. I have found out that I don't want to be in Texas. I heard somebody the other day say to one of the fellows from Texas, "So what's the weather like there?" I don't know where in Texas he's from, but he says, "So if you go in and take a hot shower, don't dry off, get dressed and walk outside. That's what it's like." I thought, wow, I don't need to be in Texas right now. Okay. Boy, oh boy, here comes one of my favorite young lady. This is almost 12-year-old Sage White and her dog Ellie. She is the youngest of the Steve and Sherry White clan out of Bancroft, Idaho. Sage is a hand, both with the dogs and with the horses. So let's watch what Sage and Ellie do. Just remember, folks, she's not quite 12. Patience and timing, position and pressure. The handler is not allowed to walk in or through any of these obstacles, so they have to stay on the outside. Okay. Nice work, Sage and Ellie. Now remember, this 11-year-old competed against, I think, 71 other novice handlers, and after 2 runs, she is in 9th place. What do you think, guys? How does that make you feel as an adult? Of course, her 12-year-old or 13-year-old next brother, Sam, is an open handler that's kicking a lot of adult back end. And of course, Stockton, who is 16 now, is an open handler who comes out on top a lot. They're all tough competitors, and the middle brother, if there is a middle in 4, Stone, told me the other day that he is almost completing his pilot ground school, and his goal is to become an Air Force pilot. So as soon as he finishes his ground school, he'll move on to take his pilot training in single engine and then move forward with that. And I think he is 14, going into high school this fall. Okay, so there's the White story. Sage is nicely through obstacle number 3, the obstacle that I could not make it through. And she is moving these cattle down to obstacle number 4 in the corner. You can see this is a set of cattle. Every set is different. These are not machines, they're animals. And they've all got personalities just like people do. So these cattle are sticking together pretty good. You can see that Ellie is doing a tremendous job. Not a bobble in here. These cattle are not on a world-winning pace. They're sticking together, and Sage is doing an excellent job of controlling them. She's at 3 minutes and 40 seconds. She's got a minute and 15 seconds basically to go. Almost a minute now, and she's got to get them down into the pen and get them sorted. Nice dog work. Good work by Sage and Ellie. That one kind of doesn't want to come all the way in, so Ellie's got to direct the back one or direct the front one like she's doing right now. You know, you can't go over here. You got to go in there. Sage is going to move up and try to move that one in front of her. Yeah, she's going to flank Ellie back around just a little bit, push them in. She's at a 4 minute and 30 seconds right now. Okay. Looks like she's still got one on the outside that's not wanting to cooperate. I don't know that they're going to get it back into the pen to be successful on her sort. And she's going to get points on the 2 that she has penned if the buzzer goes off like it is right now. Nice job, Sage, White, and Ellie. Proud of you guys. Okay.
At the Mountain State Stock Dog Association National Final, Stockton White is here. Stockton, one of the handlers, of course, part of the White family, has also been announcing a little bit. Stockton, you've been watching this your whole life, man. Since you were a little kid, you saw it grow. What was it like as a kid to see these finals?
It's been small, or it was small. That's what I remember. We just kind of put it together and just tried it, and it was small, but it's been way fun, and it's been just going ever since.
Perfect. Stockton White with the Mountain State Stock Dog National Finals.
Also, here's one of our good sponsors, WorkingStockDogs.com. If you guys out there are thinking that, you know, you need more information, you want to get involved with this, or you are involved and you want more information, here's a website to look at, WorkingStockDogs.com. Has a list of all the trials and clinics coming up, trainers, breeders, etc. Good source of information. Look them up. Okay, now we've got Chad Walker and /J Casey. Chad calls for his cattle, sends Casey on an away command. You'll notice that some of these dogs work in a little tighter, some work a little wider. I don't know that there's a completely right answer. You just have to be in the right spot at the right time to put the right amount of pressure on these cattle to get them to go where you want them. You know, in most situations, in a trial, staying off these cattle is way better than slashing and cutting into them and causing a problem. So, you know, when you work cattle, whether you be on foot or horseback, if you're working on pens, you know, at a feedlot, at a sales yard, or just moving them, getting them on a pasture, out of a pasture, moving them from one to another, we don't take a straight line to them. You know, when they see us coming, if we come right at them, what are they going to do? They're going to turn around, go the other way. In most cases, that's not what we want. So when we go to gather cattle, we need to go around them, just like these dogs are doing here on the outrun. We go around, we take a nice swipe at them. The cattle may look at us, but they don't feel us, and that's what's important. So we want to stay off the cattle. The dog needs to stay off the cattle just enough to stay outside the bubble until he needs to come inside and start taking pressure. Now he started, you could see as Casey came around that corner, you could see that lead cow turning. She was feeling the pressure from Casey. All right, we had that white face leak out the left. This was my problem here. I just never could get my timing down enough to get everything in and everything stopped from going out that left side. So now we've reloaded that white face. They're good. Casey can go around and just put enough pressure on them right there. You see, she didn't have to get all the way up in that hole. Just get in that cow's eye to make them bend to the right. Nice work, Chad and Casey. Now we're marching on to obstacle number 4 up in the corner. You got to get that one stuffed back in there. We've got 2 that came through. The white face mixes with them. Now they're mixed. Now we got to turn them all 3 of them around. And try it again. As a handler, this is what you don't like to see. You got 3 head of cattle spread out in 3 different places. 2 of them standing kind of still. One of them just not wanting to go back to the other ones. Okay, now we're going to try this again. We have to get around, get them in back of that obstacle. Timing. There you go, just right. That's where they have to go out. So you can see the timing in there. If that back cow would have been a couple steps behind where he was when Chad sent Casey, that would have pushed that cow's head this side of that obstacle. So it's a timing issue. Okay, well that's where they wind up with their 5-minute. They did not get their pen nor their sort, so they're 90 points down off a total of 270. One of our supporters here is Morrow Heavy Civil Construction, Leonard Morrow, who is here competing with us. Leonard has been here for numerous years. I've been fortunate enough to be able to know him, and nice guy to be around, friendly, knowledgeable, as are most of the other competitors are in here. Just good people to sit down and talk with. Thank you, Leonard, for your support and your participation. Man, I can't talk this morning. Participation at the finals. Okay, here comes Dean Clark and his hanging tree dog, Taz. I had a little conversation with Taz's handler, Dean, today, and he was telling me a little bit more about the dogs. This dog, so again, the hanging tree is originally bred mainly for outside work, and he's a small portion Australian Shepherd, Border Collie, Kelpie, and Catahoula. And all for certain reasons, the Catahoula and the Kelpie for their stamina and their short coats, the Border Collie for their intelligence, and the Australian Shepherd for their herding ability. Dean told me this morning that this dog He can't show at some of the hanging tree exclusive shows because this dog is 50% border collie. He has taken a Catahoula that is traditional in all their breeding and then bred it back to a border collie. So he's got more border collie into it. Now, these dogs were originally bred for outside work, for big country, for big gathers with a lot of cattle in it. They are tough son of a guns. They are aggressive. They have stamina. And they'll make something move. They might make something bleed, but they will make something move. So he went and crossbred a traditional bred hanging tree back to a border collie. And this is the dog. And I can see in here, I was commenting to him how much I like this dog and how nice of a job I think he's done with it for a trial situation. And that's when he told me how the dog was bred. And after that, you can really see it. This dog works off the cattle way more than a traditional hanging tree. Works wider. Doesn't want to get into their face quite as much. And Dean has done a really nice job, both in the breeding and in the training of this dog. So, kind of shows you. Nicely done, nicely done. Dean's got a really good run going here. He's just gonna hit 3 minutes, and he's on his way down to the sort pen, or the pen and sort. Let's see how we can get them all in. Looks like we got 2 in. Hopefully this one will follow. Yep. Dean can block that exit. There's an exit right there. Got them all in. Now we're going to sort them. We got to go one out the side, one out the back. Had to move Taz. One out the back. Now this one's going to come out the side, and the time's going to stop. And there we are. Nice job, Dean Clark and Taz. 4 minutes and 4 seconds is what my clock looks like. The one on my monitor is not necessarily the official clock. We'll wait for them to tell us what it is. A good demonstration of how it's supposed to be done. All right, coming into the arena now is Jennifer Stottlemyre and J.M. Gus. Jennifer and her husband John are both here competing this week. And also one of our great sponsors, S4 Stock Dogs. So let's see what Jennifer and Gus do. She starts to send them on a come by and stops them. Turns them around, goes away. Picks up the cattle, moving them towards the fetch. They're through the fetch, they're all together. As long as they're moving, we just don't want them stalling out. Gus does a good job of controlling the head, moving them around. They hustle up out, that's nice, that's a time saver. Right there, they didn't stall up in that pen. Moving them on to obstacle number 3. Just trying to keep the cattle moving in a straight direction. Direct the front one, go back and push the back one. Direct the front one. Gotta come back to this side. There you go. A little bit of an overflank, change direction of those cattle instead of keeping them straight. Now kind of wrap them around one more time. A little bit more, there you are. Pressure and position. Okay, Gus has got to get around there to the left side, does an excellent job. Good handling by Jennifer. Getting Gus into position at the right time. It was position and pressure. So the handler and the dog have to be in the correct position to make things work. You know, I hear handlers say all the time, boy, did you see that set of cattle? They just walked right through the whole course. They, you know, the dog and the handler, they didn't really do anything. They just kind of walked from obstacle to obstacle from one to the other. Well, you know, that was a great set of cattle. But, however, it was probably because the handler and the dog were in the right position at the right time, putting the proper amount of pressure on as it was required. It's very hard to see things that make the run right. It's more obvious to see the mistakes. So we learn from our mistakes. If we quit making our mistakes, then we have those more perfect runs. So, okay, that wind is really starting to come off these mountains to the west of us, and we're in a little bit of a wind tunnel. So I apologize if that is getting through the microphone a little bit more than it has in the past, but it's getting a little bit chilly with the wind. Okay, Jennifer did a nice job on obstacle number 4. Let's see how she comes down to the sort in the pen. She is at 4 minutes. You want them to move, the cattle to be moving faster, but that also, in most cases, spreads them out a little bit. It also makes it a little bit more difficult to control the direction of all the cattle. So sometimes slow is fast. You can see how that one just wants to leak out that far side on this, and they don't want to go into the pen. You know, maybe the next set will just walk right in. Now they're going okay. Jennifer's going to block the hole. Hopefully, yeah, she got there in time. One wanted to come out there. He's not allowed to come out yet. Now he can come out. And there goes the buzzer. So Jennifer got her pen points, did not obtain her short points. So she will have a total of 225 out of a full score, out of a total score of 270. All right, let's see who's coming into the arena now. Antoinette Harms and MISR Fred. So we've talked about these prefixes before in front of the dog's names. I'm sure at home they call the dog Fred, not MISR Fred. But the prefix in front, you'll see different ones. This is MISR, the designation coming from Steve and Sherry's ranch, Mill Iron S Ranch. So their brand there is the Mill Iron S, and it's the Mill Iron S Ranch. So you'll see other ones around. I don't know them all. But the ones I'm familiar with is, you know, you'll see PDA. Like I know there's a dog here, PDA Kirby, that's owned by Stephanie and Rep Bisnet. PDA stands for Paul and Debbie Anderson out of Preston, Idaho. This is their breeding program. There's several others that you'll see as you go along, and some you'll know, some you won't know. Okay, well, we've got the cattle kind of spread out a little bit. We got two waiting for the one. Fred's going to bring them back. Okay, we've got a set of cattle that want to move. So, like I say, this is a good thing. They're just a little harder to control than the ones that are a little bit sluggish. They skirt by there and not want to go into obstacle number 2. Fred's doing a good job of just kind of keeping them under control, doing the best he can. Antoinette's on the other side, going to block that. Now that cow went in the exit opening, or actually the opening that, yeah, the exit opening. Had to come out, got to reload them through the appropriate opening. Looks like 2 of them are going to go in. 1 of them's going in, the other 2 are still on the outside. 1 wants to be non-committal, goes in the wrong side. Oh, that's okay. The other 2 are patiently waiting for him, and there he goes. All right, now she can come out the opening. Not the one they went in, but the other one. Okay. Hopefully that one will calm down, put his head down a little bit, or not. at obstacle number 3. Needing to get these cattle settled down, bunched up, and turned around. Okay. Well, that was a good example of where the line of sight is. And they were unable to get around to block that hole quick enough. So now they'll have to reload. And that wind is really whipping. Earlier they had called for a little bit of rain, but not until this evening.
That will be a score of 90 for Nutrena and MSSA Fred. Jennifer and Sky will be up now. Oakley and Ellen on deck. Tina and Clover in the hole. Okay, we've got Jennifer Stottlemyre once again with her other dog, Sky. You saw Jennifer in here a few runs ago. I think we've got 4 more runs to go in the final run of the intermediate. Then that, I think, is going to be the end of the Nutrena True Arena for the day, for the week. And then they might take a little break, move things around a little bit.
And they will have the junior handlers class, which is always a kick, in the upper arena, the Loyall Life Arena. And then after that, they will have the open cattle finals after that. So stay tuned. We'll be bringing it to you. This is Jennifer and Sky from Luther, Oklahoma, one of our great sponsors, S4 Stock Dogs, John and Jennifer Stottlemyre. Jennifer and Sky just doing an excellent job out here controlling these cattle. You can see the difference. These cattle kind of stuck together going into obstacle number 3. Gave Jennifer and Sky a chance to get in position before they went out the back end. Sky was able to get over on the left side of that obstacle to encourage the cattle to go out the right side opening. They're hustling down to obstacle number 4. Is the one you got to get that red one back in. Now we've got to go back over and get the other red one back in. We've got 2 out, 1 out, but they've mixed, so we've got to start all over again. So she Jennifer's still working on obstacle number 4. Well, they've been calling a little bit of rain here for the last week for today, and it kind of looks like it's going to miss us. Looks like we might have some tonight. You know, my weather is calling for 7 o'clock. We're going to be way done by then, and they're not calling for much of it, maybe a half a tenth. So, but it is overcast. The wind is blowing, and they are calling for more wind, and maybe a hair of rain at about 7 o'clock tonight. So, button down the hatches. And that's time for Jennifer and Sky. Jennifer was currently, before this run, she was in 4th place with Sky. We'll see where she comes out. Current top 5 right now is Dean Clark and Taz. That's our hanging tree dog. Total points, full score, 810 points, 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Christina Kirby and Satis Clyde, 12 minutes and 21 seconds, 810 points. McCoy Ramsey and Bill, 12 minutes and 27 seconds, full points. Wesley Bruton and Ginger, 13 minutes and 38 seconds, 810 points. And then Jennifer Stottlemyre is in 5th with her earlier run dog. Yeah, but she does not have full points. So she is at 765 points. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 4 places all have 4 points. So you need to have 3 full score runs to make it into the top 5. And you need to be faster than 11 minutes and 11 seconds on 3 runs to move to the top. Today is family day from about 12 to 3. We're going to have some bounce houses out here. We've got the 4-H with a dog wash, a little bit of face painting for the kids. I hope the weather kind of clears up a little bit. I see 2 of the bounce houses that are already up. I don't know how many they're going to put up. Usually there's 2 or 3 of them. And I see a couple kids bouncing, so yeah. Okay, here is Oakley, Trap, and Ollie. Oakley right now is in 3rd place, going in after 2 runs. Oakley's got a run going on here, straight from the fetch right into obstacle number 2 and out of number 2, and she is not hit 1 minute yet. So I'm going to venture a guess if she can keep this pace going, she's going to move up in the standings. But we've got a red cow that doesn't want to stay with the black cows. Black cows don't want to stay with red cows. So let's see how old Allie gets that red cow convinced to get back with the other ones and be nice and win this son of a gun. Right now he's not being very cooperative. She's not being very cooperative. The other 2 are standing very quietly, very contently. I wish I would have taken a class in college about cow mentality, but I've been told by many people much smarter than me that there's just not that much mentality in a cow, so never know what they're thinking. You know, why that red cow wanted to run around and be so obstinate, who knows? They kind of got them up together. It'd be nice to put that red cow in the middle of the 2 black ones. All right, now here's the timing issue. You got to get around there. Oakley, we got one that leaked back out. God, I thought that one went in, but when it goes in the wrong hole, got to bring them back around to the front and reload. You can see how fast a great run goes to not so good. We were less than a minute coming out of obstacle number 2, and now we were 3 minutes still trying to get into obstacle number 3. So the red one has definitely been not cooperative. It's kind of a freelance player. it'd be nice if she just stayed in there, if she felt shelter and felt comfortable in there, but she just wants to just go on the trot. That wind is really whipping off that mountain now. Okay, Oakley's got them put together. Finally, that red cow got them all. Oh, that one black cow just kind of leaks out to the side. They were going real good. All right, let's try this again. All right, we got them loaded. Now we got to get around to that left side. Great, great work. Yeah. Yeah, there goes the buzzer. So she got pointed on obstacle number 3. That was tough. But she did a good job of handling her dog and handling her cattle. I didn't see any mistakes. I just saw the red cow that didn't want to play. Okay, right there, that's our current top 5. You can see that we have 4 contestants that have 3 full score runs. That was the 3 runs at 270 points apiece, total of 810. And Jennifer, with one of her dogs, has she must have missed a sort on one of her runs, but is still in there at 5th place, 765 points. So that's your top 5 right now. Okay, coming into the arena now, looks like Tina Olson from California and her dog Clover. We had a heck of a battle in California for in a novice for Dog of the Year. That's nationwide, not just California, but we had a battle between this young lady, Tina Olson, and another great young lady, Melody Vascule. And they went neck and neck, back and forth, right to the last trial, and Tina came up on top with this dog. So Dog of the Year you're looking at. We got a Charolais that just really doesn't want to play. And Melody wound up with this reserve champion Dog of the Year, also 3rd place and 5th place Dog of the Year. So that's the total number of points throughout the year. So you got to travel, you got to compete, you got to win to get those points. Okay, Tina's through obstacle number 1. Let's see if she can get it done in obstacle number 2. Boy, these cattle just want to move. I don't know if it's the wind that's making them a little more lively or what, but, you know, especially when they spread out and especially when these obstacles are so technical that you've got to be spot on. It's not like they're just drive-bys. You got to be on it. Oh, get that one. Oh, son of a gun, he missed it. So that Charlet beat the dog out to the left side. So she's got to come back and reload that obstacle. Oh, darn. Got to get them bunched up. Clover's working really good. She works wide, so she doesn't put a lot of pressure on the cattle. Okay. Tina's reading her cattle good. Oh, that was a nice move. I think she's going to get it done. Watch your Charlet. Oh, Tina. Yeah. She's going to try it again. Oh, one leaked out. One didn't quite go in, and one leaked out to the left side, so no go. You can only imagine the frustration level that's going through both Tina and Clover. Clover's probably saying, what are we doing here? Okay, we got it. We got it. Yeah, Tina. Come on, you can do it. There, good work, good persistency. We just used up a lot of time. I would have sure liked to see her get a little farther on this course. Here comes. They're a little over 4.5 minutes. Well, shoot. You can see the kind of disappointment in Tina's actions there, but she's such a great lady and a good competitor, and her and Clover have done so well this year. This is just her second year of dog trialing, and she has started these dogs herself, she tells me, and she's done a tremendous, tremendous job. So congratulations to Tina on her accomplishments this year, and wish her continued success for next year. And I'd like to see in another battle next year between Tina and Melody in the intermediate class. They're both being moved up to the intermediate because of their tremendous results this year in the novice. That's what happens. You get better, you move up to the next level, and they're both definitely ready for it. So looking forward to seeing this year's competition. right, let's see who's coming into the arena now. Once I see it on my screen, I'll tell you I cannot identify the handler or the dog from here. There it is. Nope, that is not right. I know that this is not Oakley Trap and Ollie, or Allie. The Oakley is a lot prettier than this young man that's out there now. So if the powers to be could upgrade this to the right handler and right dog, be appreciated. All right, we got one little white face, black white face kind of leak around the outside of that fetch. The handler can go on with his 2 if he wants, but you know he's not going to get anywhere with less than a full score, so he's going to retry it. Pushes that cow back across the daylight line, and now he's good. Coming on to obstacle number 2. Nice work. They're in, they're out. We're again just at 1 minute. On to obstacle number 3. Obstacle number 3 is definitely the toughest one, most technical one. Your timing, your positioning has to be just right. Okay. Okay, that was excellent. Now you saw how easy that looked compared to what Tina Olson and Clover went through last time. Just maybe a little bit of the luck of the draw. Maybe a step this way, step that way. Who knows? But that was pretty darn nice. So if I knew who that was, if our technical people could upgrade our screen, we would know. So now we're on to obstacle number 4. And again, this one is probably the second hardest one, just because of the timing, the way the panels are set. The timing has to be right. You miss them going forward or you miss them on the back end. Okay. Nice work getting that done. We're going to move towards the sort pen. You miss them on the left side. Dog can go around and turn them around. And still miss them on the left side. Turn them around again. Try it one more time. I think we're going to get it this time. Yep. Go straight down into the pin. We got them pinned. Now all we got to do is sort them. One out the side. One out the back, the third one out the side, in that order. So we're at 3 minutes and 45 seconds. One out the side. One out the back. One out the side. There's time. It's about 4 minutes and 12 seconds. We'll add that to his 2 previous scores. Add them up. see where he stands. I think that is the end of our novice class. That is, we'll probably take a little break here. We will have the junior handlers class in the Loyal Life, the upper arena. And then after that, we will have the open handlers finals also in the upper arena. So we'll see you there.